Wet n Wild came out with coffee scented eyeshadows. Let me say this again. Coffee scented. Now, there have been other brands. The other one I can think of at this exact moment is Winky Lux about coffee scented. But this is so cute. It's Wet n Wild Coffee Cat. They have a cat in a little cup. It reminds me back in the day when people were relaxed, wore black, had a hat, had that jazz music in the back. This is giving me jazz vibes. Maybe because I'm a jazz and blues singer, but this is giving me jazz vibes. And of course they came out with a variety of lip glosses. But so far, I was only able to get my hands on one. So if you're interested in finding out, is this good? Especially at a cheap price? Is it worth getting? And does it actually smell like coffee? Thank you for watching, my dears. Keep watching and find out. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my dears, and thank you so much for pushing the little play button. I really appreciate it. Now today I'm going to give you a review of the Wet n Wild Coffee Cat palette. I love the packaging, except it's not the best. You can't expect luxury packaging, but the outside's very cute. Couple of negatives, just a little FYI, I know starting on a very negative note, is that this is very hard to open. Like after a while it gets easier, but the first couple of times you're like grinding how to get a pin and all this other stuff to try to open it. So if you have issues with opening stuff like arthritis or anything like that, you may have to have someone open this for you a couple of times. Like now, so it's a lot easier to open, but I think it just has to have some more because it's very hard to open. The second thing is, if you notice, the shades are not posted on the palette. Everything is on the back. So to be honest, I'm not sure. Literally, this the color, that's the color. This I'm gonna assume that's what it is, or if it's flipped. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. So I happen to know which way it goes. Let me know, comment below, my dears, comment below. And I'm gonna show you the demo and how I came up with this look. The exact colors that I use, makeup brushes, basically a mini tutorial like I usually do, my dears. I just happen to like tutorials because I figured you want to know how to use the product. That's just my idea, but that was my thoughts. And I'm also going to let you know my thoughts about this lip gloss, about the Coffee Cat. I got it in the shade No FOMO. So, and I will be listing the prices of everything, just to let you know, my dears, just to let you know. So right before we begin, just in case you haven't, just a little reminder, please consider subscribing and remember to push the little notification bell because it will let you know when my videos are up and loaded, my dears. And remember to follow me on all of my social medias on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and even Snapchat. Even though I really haven't been using Snapchat in a while, I do apologize. I'm not used to that program yet. At Enidbluesinger, and it all has the exact same handle. That way it's much easier for you, my dears. And also follow me on my IMDb page, Enid Lopez. Of course, right now I'm not really doing much of that due to pandemic and but I'm still working on music. And I'm a little bit fly. I picked up a little bit of music theory because I want to be able to improve and wow you. Yes, dears, wow you. So, for no further ado, let's jump into the tutorial, my thoughts, and if this new launch from Wet n Wild is actually impressive or not. Alright, we're going to jump right in to Wet n Wild Coffee Cat eyeshadow palette. I mean, it's just so cute. I couldn't help it. It's extremely cute. And coffee, my dears, coffee. And believe it or not, it does have a touch, just a touch smell of the coffee. It's not very intense, so if smell bothers you, it's very little. It is Tuesday morning. I have my brushes, and if you've been on my channel for a while, I can't live without coffee, my dear, so it kind of fits. I already have my eyes already primed, set, my eyebrows are done. So I'm going to show you, as I indicated in the beginning, I have played with every single one of these shades, my dears. I will have videos, featured videos of how to use basically everything in the palette. From this row to diagonally, I will do everything, my dears. Believe me, that's in the works. And if I don't do it, remind me. Just go to my videos and remind me. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my favorite look that I've came up with all the colors in the palette. The bad thing about this palette, and I'm sorry off the bat note, is that it doesn't label. I think it's because the lines are so small. Shade names, everything's in the back. But it does get kind of confusing going here in this way. So what I'm going to do for video purposes, I'm going to show you the color, but then during my wonderful editing process, I will put the actual shade names, and hopefully I get it correct, the shade names, for that way you can at least see the names of the shades. I just hope I get them correct during editing. So, and if I don't, my apologies. Alright, so let's jump in, shall we? Let's jump in. I'm going to be using my Sigma E40, and I'm going to be using this shade right over here. That caramel shade. Honestly, this is like my favorite shade in this whole palette. Like, I love it. And I'm going to put this all over the crease. Alright, my dears, and this is basically the shade. It's so beautiful. I love this shade. I'm obsessed. Now, you could actually create a one shadow look, believe it or not, if you use like a MAC 242, like a flat brush like that. Put that brush here, put it all over the lid, and just blend it. Honey, that could be your look for the day. I've even tried it that way and absolutely love. So if you want a video about one shadow looks with that color, let me know, comment below. But you see how beautiful and how just like opaque that is? It is gorgeous. As this we're getting into the fall, it's like a perfect color. Now, the reason I put this all the way up here in the crease, because we will be adding some additional colors up here. And I would like this to show, my dears. I would like that to show. Here's the next two colors we're going to use. I'm still going to use another Sigma E40. I know, big shocker, right? And I'm going to continue packing on to the crease. Now, if you want to leave it with just this color, you can, because I happen is absolutely gorgeous, my dears. Absolutely gorgeous. But remember, this is a natural type of look. So what I'm going to do, next two colors that I like is this color right over here and this color right over here. So I'm going to put my brush into both of these, a tad dusty, and I'm going to put it all over the crease. The only difference is that I'm not going to put it all the way up because I still want that caramel color to be seen. Then I go back to the first Sigma E40 I used, and I go back to this color, and you see how it kind of covers up the top portion. I do want this color to be shown, so I'm going to put this right on top just so we can identify that color a little bit better. Okay, so the colors can actually be seen more. I'm actually going to be using this brush, and I love brush because I mostly use it to blend my colors, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's the Sigma 31 brush. It's a pro airbrush crease, and I'm not going to add any products to this. Like I said, my only purpose to this is to blend. So go ahead and just blend your crease, my dears. Blend away. Are you guys getting the diffusion of the both? I mean, it's just, you see how this brush literally diffuses everything? It's fantastic. The next color I'm going to use in the brush is a Sigma E25. Anyways, I'm going to use this beautifully chocolatey color, and I think it's called Hug in a Mug, maybe? Alright, so I'm going to put my brush in here. This palette's extremely like powdery, so a little FYI. And I'm going to put this all over the crease. Okay, you see how intense and harsh that is? Yeah, my dears. So I go back to this lovely Sephora brush and literally blend, my dears. Blend your little heart out. Now you see how nice, dark, and intense, and it just gives it that little in the look. Just a little oomph. But I am going to go back a touch of these two colors right here. Just a touch. Just for I can be seeing a little bit better. Now can you tell from this look alone, it's literally looking like different type of coffees. Oh, love, my dears. Just love. Now we're going to have fun with the lids, my dears. Fun with the lids. Okay, that way we can look a little bit, I mean a little bit more natural. We're going to go into this color right over here. I don't know if you can tell, but this is like my favorite row right here. Put my finger right here and put it all over the lid. then what I did is put this other color in the very top corner over here and just put it on top. It just gives it like a little flex of additional sparkle, but not that much. It's actually kind of light. Now you see how nice and beautiful that gave it? A little balance on the eye, nothing too dark, nothing extremely light, but just in the middle, still not golden, caramel type of look that I love to see. And then of course, you're probably like, what about the brow bone, my dears? What about my brow bone? Okay, I'll survive you with the brow bone. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be mixing these two colors up here. And put this all around the brow bone. And because that is harsh, our favorite word, blend, my dears, blend. As you can tell, it's not that bright, but that's literally the brightest thing in here. So I would recommend, if you want that to be lighter, get a highlighter, honestly, or just grab another shade from a different palette, because this one is not going to give you that bright of a highlight that you would expect. So a little FYI, or if you have my skin tone or close to it, you at least know. If you are darker complected, you may have to pick up another palette. Give me a moment. I'm going to step away. I'm going to clean up, my dears. I'm going to put on my mascara, primer, foundation, lipstick, blah, blah, blah. Basically finishing up with the look, my dears. And then I'll be back. And we may or may not put something underneath the lash line. May or may not. May or may not. But if you're curious about the rest of the products I will be putting on my face, as usual, everything will be down in the description below. So give me a moment. Let me fix this situation. And for me, it's going to be 10-15 minutes. For you, it's going to be in less than a second, my dears, because that's the magic of editing. Alright, my dears, I am back. This is my finished look. As you can tell, it's very coffee-like. It's very dark, beautiful, blended. And if you're curious about all the products, it's all down in the description below, my dears. So, underneath, you can put color underneath the eyes if you like. I personally am not going to do that today, but if you want to, the one that I would choose out of all the colors that I did on my eyes will be this caramel color, the one that I absolutely love. And you can just put it underneath the lash line if you like. I'm just not going to do it today. And I do have white eyeliner from NYX. It just brightens up the eyes. It makes you be just a little bit more awake, my dears. Alright, now for the lips, the line actually I think has 3 lip glosses. I did not grab all of them. I only bought one because a lot of it was sold out, so I could only put my hands in one. Now, this is the shade that I have. Now, it's so cute, by the way. It is like plastic, but it has like some fruits and plants, the kitty, you know, the copycat. It is so cute. And I got it in the shade No FOMO. And here it is, a swatch. It's very clear, pinkish, and it does look nice and natural on the lips. Me, unfortunately, I forgot about all about this product and ended up putting up some lipstick. I ended up using the Toofaced. This is the Gingerbread Man. This came in a little set last year for Christmas. Hence, we're going towards the holidays. And I did do a video about it. It's this video right over here. And yeah, I ended up putting this on top. And then I realized, oh, and this color is a little bit harder to take off in a way that's really good, but it's a little bit harder. But this usually works better on top of colors anyway, is what I found. So this is how it looks like on top of this lip, my dears. Alright, my dears, and that's basically how this and Wild, the cat coffee lip gloss looks like on top of this particular color. Now, even though I'm wearing a very neutral look, you can put any color there that you want. I've just kind of been obsessed as the fall is changing. I'm wanting to go more towards the orange and the browns, which is kind of what this is. I do not think this is available anymore. I am so sorry. I think it's just in that set, but I absolutely love the color, so I'm sorry if I'm introducing you. But look in your collection to see if you have like a brownish, orangey type of shade. You can also mix, you know, be your own chemist. Got me, dears. And this is basically the look that my favorite look that I came up with the palette and with the lip gloss. Now, let me tell you. Alright, my dears. Now, the Wet n Wild Coffee Cat, it is so cute. I love the plants. I love the little kitty and the coffee. Especially since I did a little bit of jazz. that's what got me into this palette, my dears. Now the color story is extremely neutral. Now from my history of Wet n Wild, they're not very good quality. They're one of the cheapest things in the drugstore. But to me, at least from my past experience, the quality has not been, how should I say, fantastic. But this palette actually surprised me. Like, I was a little worried at first because it's a Wet n Wild. No offense to Wet n Wild, but I just don't think it has the great quality. This eyeshadow palette's really good. It's very pigmented. You can blend easily. Nothing's rough, nothing stays. You don't have to like hurry. Now all these colors are very pigmented. This one though is very light. It just shows it like small sparkles. Like, it looks dark in a pan, but if you swatch it, it's like barely goes there. It's like very, it doesn't do much. Like, this could be a topper to a lot of the other shimmers, but that's really about it by itself. Unless you want that extremely no makeup look, like you could barely see you have anything there, maybe that would be a good substitute. But it's extremely light. It's just darker in the pan than it actually looks in the eyes, my dears. It just does. Blends quite easily and very, very nice. I'm impressed. Like, I would not think this would be a Wet n Wild formula at all, to be honest with you. You can play with my collection. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be as good as high end, but I'm perfectly happy with this. It's not a love, but it's a like. It's a very strong like. I love the color story. Like, I could bring this anywhere, especially for the holidays. You know how you like, gotta be with family and whatsoever. You gotta try to be as natural as humanly possible. This is fantastic, and it has shimmer. You can glam it up with the holidays. So this is actually a very wearable palette. This is good for beginners, and even if you are advanced to makeup. We all get into that hurry. We just want things nice and easy. We really don't want to deal with difficulties. This is fantastic. So would I recommend this to you? Definitely. I would definitely recommend. Now, if you don't know a lot of nudes or brown, or you're a beginner of makeup, this would actually be really good to have. And I have quite a bit of eyeshadows, as you know, from a couple of videos ago. I did a declutter, but this is actually very nice. I'm very happy I bought this in Wet n Wild may be changing my mind, and yeah, changing my mind on it. Like I said, I bought it because of the cute cat, the little cup, coffee, and it's just, it feels more like jazz vibes to me. Jazz vibes. Now, for the actual lip gloss, the lip gloss is actually quite nice, even by itself. I mean, I work from home, so I do wear makeup at home. Ain't gonna lie. It's my happy place, my dears. It's my happy place. So I have tried this with and without makeup, without the topper here. It's very sheer. It's not very opaque. It just gives you that little bit of life. It works. It's good. But I love using it on top of lipstick. And the best way to matte everything down, if you like everything matte, there is a trick to it. Kleenex and powders. If you're interested in that little hack trick about your lipsticks and how to make it stay on your lips, let me know. Comment below. Just comment below, my dears. Obviously today I didn't do it. There is a hack to it, my dears. There is a hack. And like I said, I can't talk about the other shades. I don't have the other shades. But for this particular shade, it's very nice. It's very smooth. It's not tacky. It's not sticky. It's very nice. Like I said, Wet n Wild surprised me because I wasn't expecting very good quality, to be honest with you. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, my dears. I'm going to try to see if I can get my hands on the other colors because I actually do love this lip gloss. I really do. So, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember, in case you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And one last thing. Oh, and if you happen to have bought the palette, and maybe the other lip glosses, let me know your experience. Let me know your thoughts and if you like the palette or not, and if it was worth your money, because this, especially with the pandemic going around, not a lot of people have money. I'm one of them, my dears. I don't have very much right now, and this is fantastic bargain. I'm just saying, fantastic bargain for your money. One last thing right before you leave. Be safe, be kind, be careful. Like, seriously, especially now. Be careful. I love you. I miss you. And I'll see you on the next video. See you soon. Bye.